YouTube? What's going on? Trucker D here again. So, currently on my 34, but just a quick recap. Delivered my load yesterday in Powell, Michigan, a place I'm never gonna go to again. So anytime, if I ever get a load there, I'm turning it down. I'll explain why in a little bit. So yeah, I'm currently on my 34. Hold on, y'all. I'm about 29 hours in, so my reset will be done. So right now I'm currently in Benton Harbor at a pilot. So let's talk about this place I went to. It's a Coke plant in Powell, Michigan. I'm never going there again. So I didn't get good vibes when I went to this place. So I pull up at the guard shack around 4 a.m. So I was early, but you know, they still took me. So I get to the guard shack. The guy was like, I need you to slide your tandems. So I get out, slide my tandems. And by the way, when I get to Michigan, it's starting to snow just out of nowhere. It just started, it's a mixture like rain and snow. So I slide my tandems. He was like, have you been here before? I'm like, nope, first time. So he quickly shows me a map. I don't know if he was busy or whatever, but he was like real brief. He was like, just turn here, go here, go here. I'm like, wait a minute. Rewind. So he shows me again. He was like, just follow this and go here. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm following the road and I get to the dry sections, the dry load. So I go in the office, I give her the paperwork. She's like, where's the rest of it? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, where are the other forms? I'm like, this is all they gave me. She's like, it should be 3 forms. I'm like, lady, this is all they gave me. I don't know what to tell you. That's between you and the shipper. This is all I gave you. What do you want me to do? So she was like, all right. So she takes the paper. She's like, oh, you're early. I'm like, yeah. So she was like, okay, so do you want to do a live load or you want to just do a drop and hook now? I'm like, oh, yeah? So I'm like, all right, I'll do a drop and hook. So she was like, all right. She was like, but first, you're in the yard jockey's way. You need to move your truck to the cone that they told you to go to when you came in here. I'm like, the guy at the guard shack, he never told me that. So I moved my truck to this little cone or whatever. The yard guy, he was like, you're in my way. I know they told you that when you got here. I'm like, they didn't tell me anything. Hell, he barely wanted to check me in. So I brush it off. I go back inside. She's like, all right, go ahead and drop your trailer in row 2. Now, keep in mind, y'all, she didn't say where, and I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. She didn't say where. She said just drop it anywhere in row 2 and then pick up an empty. That'll be in row 3. I'm like, all right, cool. So I swing around. I go to row 2. I get to row 2. I find a spot that I want to back into. So I'm just setting up, and I see the yard guy, the same guy. I just see him sitting there, just watching or whatever. I'm thinking that's odd. Like, why is he just sitting there? So as I'm setting up, he cuts me off, and at this point, by the time he gets to me, I'm already in the hole. I'm already, in my spot, about to lower my landing gear and all that. So he comes up to me. He's like, why the fuck are you dropping it there? Why aren't you dropping it with all the other Stevens trailers like the lady told you? I'm like, first of all, she didn't tell me nothing about that. First of all, I didn't even know they had Stevens trailers here. Because when I called originally to see if I can get it off early, they said, yeah, but there may not be any trailers there. So I was already expecting there not to be trailers. So I'm like, who the hell are you talking to? He's like, I'm talking to you. I'm like, no, you're not talking to me, coming at me all crazy. You're not talking to me. But I'm not gonna get into detail of all the words that were exchanged. So to sum it up, he calmed down, after we finished talking, because he had the right one. He wasn't about to talk to me any old type of way. So he's like, well, you need to move this trailer. I'm like, I'm not moving this trailer. She told me to drop it in row 2. If you want, after I disconnect and pull forward, if you want to move it by the other Stevens trailers, you are more than welcome to, but I'm not moving this trailer again. So he gives me attitude about that. I ignore him. I go to road 3, I pick up an empty, and I head to the guard shack, to get out. So luckily, when I get to the guard shack, I guess they did a shift change, so it's a whole nother person there. This lady, she was nice. She was like, "Good morning, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm good," etc. She's like, "Yeah, I just need to look in the back of your trailer." I'm like, "All right." So I'm out of there. I head about 30 miles to the nearest safe haven, which is where I'm at now, this Pilot. So doing my 34. So I called up the planners, when it's business hours. They send me pre-plans. Now, they kept sending bullshit loads because I guess because of where I'm at in Michigan, it's hard to get good freight coming out of, where I'm at. That's just the nature of the business. Sometimes you might be in a dead area. So they're sending me pre-plans, nothing good. So I reject them. They sent me one picking up out of Illinois at a Tyson plant. I think it's Ottawa, Illinois. I'm not too big on DLDs because every time I go to a Tyson, it's never ready on time. And not only that, it was nearly 300 miles deadhead, so that was a no-go for me. And then they were giving me like 4 days. Now, the way I run, because this first load, it was going, I believe, Texas. It's not going to take me 4 days to get to Texas. I think it was like the part of Texas they wanted me to go was like 1,200 miles. So I can knock that out in 2 drive shifts, 600 miles each day. Turn that down. So I get another pre-plan picking up out of another spot in Illinois. That was like 380 miles deadhead. I'm not about to deadhead nearly 300 miles for no load. Not doing it. That one was going to Bronx. Now, I'm not too big on going to New York City. I've done it once before. I went to Brooklyn once, just to get the experience, just to say that I did it. Now that I've done it, I learned real quick. The Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, it's not for me. I don't like the headache. I don't want the headache, especially when I know they have locals, that go to New York City all day long. So why put myself in that situation? So after about the 3rd pre-plan, I'm like, yeah, I can see I ain't gonna get nothing good. So luckily, I was near the Northeast region, and I'm pretty good, with the planner for that area. Because of where I'm at, I'm right by Indiana, I'm right by Ohio. So hang on, y'all. So I called the planner, Steve, and another guy named Joel. I called them up, and it was like, "Yeah, no, you're kind of like in a bad area." I'm like, "Yeah, I see that." So he's like, "No worries, I got you." So luckily, when I was on the phone with him, he was already like booking loads for the next day. He was like, "I can shoot you down to Indiana," because I'm like right below Indiana, and I got loads, going out to New Mexico. Perfect, because I've been trying to get out west for a while. So that would be a good run right there. So that's why it's kind of good, to have a good relationship with the planners. I'm pretty good with the Northeast guys and the Southeast planner as well. So they always come through for me, which is why, I don't rely on DMs for loads. Like, I have a good DM. He's a real good guy, real good DM. He actually answers the phone, unlike my last DM that I had. So I don't wait for my DM. I just call myself, because I have most of the extensions. I call them up myself. But, so yeah, I could potentially be going to New Mexico, which will be good. And then hopefully home, take my 1 or 2 days of home time, take care of some personal business, and then come back out. So when I was on the phone with the plant, he was also talking about, the coronavirus. So I guess it's a big deal because, I'm always, moving and driving. I don't really have time to follow the news and keep up on the current events, but I guess it's come down to, they've canceled NBA games, they're canceling flights. So I guess it's like a big deal. So he was saying, make sure, you're, washing your hands, basic, stuff, which I do anyway, because I clean my truck, sanitize it down pretty much every other day, because I'm a kind of a clean freak. So that's the story for the day, y'all. Be sure to thumbs up the video if you like it. If you want me to do a certain video, just let me know in the comments, and I'll make a video on it. Like I always tell y'all, like, comment, subscribe. Y'all take it easy out there. Stay safe.